Time for a look at your West Tennessee forecast with meteorologist Brian Davis.
Welcome in, everyone, on this Friday night. We've made it to Friday. Yes, well, I had a great day today. I went out to Isaac Lane Elementary Magnet School there in Jackson and got together with all the kiddos and talked to Miss Heather Rush there in her class that we were talking about weather, and weather safety, and we read a book by Cat in the Hat. Remember those Cat in the Hat books, they kind of rhyme at the end of everything. But anyway, we read the book called Wacky Weather. And I tell you what, that's a great book for West Tennessee. And talking about wacky weather, we're going to have all kinds of wacky weather coming up here for the second half of the weekend. But I'll tell you what, they broke the record. I've been to a lot of schools in my over 25, 30 years of doing this. And I had the most students raise their hand and say, so I always ask, how many of you thinks you might want to be a weatherman or weather lady or meteorologist? Man, they didn't hesitate. They were ready to go. And I said, well, that's good to know because, we could use a few more of us. There's actually, more jobs out there than there are to fill right now. It's a good time to be in meteorology. But what a great group of smart students, and we had a blast with the wacky world of weather and talking about what to do when bad weather comes. Get in your safe place. And I think this will be a chief meteorologist right here. I have no doubt. So thanks for having me out, guys. It was a joy. We had a great time. And call on me again sometime. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the currents right now in Memphis, 55 degrees. We've got a south wind at 6 miles per hour. A little trip over to Trenton, 50 degrees. Southeast winds at 3. And in Paris, coming in at 50 degrees. So a little bit of a cool night once again, but I think we'll be just a degree or two warmer than what we were this morning. The temperature is right around the 50-degree mark. Winds out of the southwest right now. Let's go ahead and we'll take a look at the surface mount. Now, this is going to be interesting, folks. We've been warming up. Today, some of you along I-40 and Point South were at 70 degrees. And so we've got all this warm air. We've got the warm flow lifting in across West Tennessee. And it's going to manage to get up to close to 80 degrees by the time we get into Sunday. That's part of the problem here. And that's part of a warm front that's going to vigorously lift up through Tennessee all the way to the Great Lakes region. Now, we've got a very strong deepening area of low pressure that's going to be right up here. This is as of Sunday morning, and a very strong cold front with a big contrast between the warmer and the colder air. But this is not going to be the coldest of air. We've got another cold front that's got some frigid cold air, and it's going to be coming right in behind it. So we get one front through here with the storms, a dry line through Texas. That should be interesting. Probably going to be some bad storms through there too. But another big event where we're going to see storms spreading out all up through just to the west here, and they're going to be moving our direction. I think these are going to be coming through very quickly, though. And then after the storms move out, well, then we're going to be sitting in wintertime temperatures with that 1-2 cold punch that's coming in behind all of this. So let's take a look at our severe weather outlook. Looking good today, no problems tomorrow, and most of Sunday looks fine through the first part of the day, early afternoon. But we got to be watching out. This is going to be the highest level we've been at. From St. Louis to Nashville, that is a 3 out of 5. So we're talking in the mid-range here. It's not a high risk. It's not a moderate risk, but it's 3 of the 5. And this is going to be the highest that we've seen so far this season. And we can't rule out tornadoes either. I'm going to show you something here in the Futurecast that's looking a little more concerning here, but notice all of West Tennessee is now included from Ridgely over to Paris through Camden, down to Savannah and back over to Bolivar and Memphis. None of us are left out in the immediate viewing area. And then you've got places like North Mississippi, Arkansas, Missouri, Kentucky, North Alabama going to be included, Middle Tennessee. So this is going to be a very large scale event as it comes through, and it is going to be a little more powerful and a little bit more concerning than what we had last time. And the last event we had a tornado warning over towards the Millington area. This time it could be a little bit worse. We're going to talk about how much worse it could be coming up. But I skipped ahead to Sunday. Once again, all eyes have been on this latest futurecast, and not much at all has changed. I've reran the models, they're very consistent in that this is going to be kind of coming towards the Mississippi River by around 6 a.m., crossing over the Mississippi River and continuing through Jackson and middle portions here by around 7 to 8 p.m. and then pushing near the Tennessee River by 9 to 10 p.m. So again, about 6 to 8 o'clock right through the western counties. Jackson, probably about 8 to 9, and about 9 to 10 for those eastern counties. And again, we'll let that run one more time. So here we are, times at the top, 4 o'clock. And I do want to point out something here. We'll let this run one more time. Something that's a little more concerning. I'm starting to see what could be some supercell showing up. Look right in here, mainly over the northern counties, right out ahead of that main line. And then right as it gets towards the Tennessee River, those spots that you're seeing out ahead of that line, those could be supercells right there too, right out ahead of that main line. That's concerning because that's looking a little more tornadic. Now, with that being said, I'm still not expecting but the 1 or possibly 2 this time compared to just the 1. That's bad enough, isn't it? Then a blast of bitter cold air comes in. We'll be dropping 30 to 35 degrees in some cases in about 2 to 2.5 hours. So we're going to be jumping into wintertime real quickly. Now, again, I kept our tornado threat low with this, but I would just say, I didn't want to put it at medium. I don't feel like it's a medium or moderate risk of tornadoes. But as you know, last time, low risk, we did have 1 tornado warning. This time, I'm thinking with this system, we can wind up with 1 or 2 warnings. But I'm still saying the low side. I don't anticipate a bunch of tornado of an outbreak here. Now, of course, the large hail threat, you guys know we had some large hail last time. This one's a notch up here, and we still have the conditions, cold layers in the mid and upper levels to support some large hail. And then the damaging wind threat, it's going to be kind of off the charts here. We're just going to go ahead and keep it at high because all indications, all indices are pointing towards that being the most predominant thing that we could deal with. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at our hourly for the rest of tonight. A beautiful night, clear skies. We're going to be dropping into the low 40s by morning. Plenty of sunshine. Tomorrow is going to be our best day in a very long time. Low 70s. Some of you could hit the mid 70s, especially south of I-40. But there you go. Cup of piping hot caffeinated beverage on the porch. It'll be the low to mid 40s in the morning. Beautiful skies though. Just enough maybe to bump the heater on just for a little bit heading in for 5 minutes and then probably cut that thing off. 74 for the high for most of us, right around 74 tomorrow. Mostly sunny skies. Then most of Sunday looks great, but it'll get windy late morning into the early afternoon. The storms will come in. We need to pay attention about 5 o'clock looking west and check in with us. Any of the storms get severe, we're going to be tracking those before they ever get in to West Tennessee, since we cover all of West Tennessee. 76 for the high, but some of you, there'll be some sporadic areas hit 80. I really think we'll see that too. Some of the late models are indicating that as well. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our 7-day forecast, and a lot going on here, as we've been saying. So low to mid 70s tomorrow, beautiful sunny day, 57 for tomorrow night's low. Upper 70s for Sunday. Here comes that cold front. It's going to be on the move, folks. Severe storms, possible to likely there in the evening hours. Then we drop off to 32 degrees. We're only going to be at 39 for Monday. Some light snow showers to flurries possible. Are there going to be any problems? Doesn't look like it right now, but we will fall on off to 19. That could blow a record out of the books right there if we indeed go to that 19. Then we'll be frigid cold back up to only 43. Tuesday will be our coldest day between the morning and the afternoon there, and then 29 for Wednesday morning. You get the idea, folks. We've got a big change coming up in the weather, and it's all going to start with the severe storms. We'll be here. Thanks for tuning in to West Tennessee Weather. Have a great rest of the night.
We are West Tennessee Weather Channel.